The super simple cooking hack of making a lot of food for the week together with friends makes time spent making healthy meals easier and lighter and a heartfelt memory rather than a solitary chore. It improves life instantly because what we create together is more than we each could have done on our own, and the sense of connection and support is also a type of medicine. When I cook alone, I often feel tired and overwhelmed and a sense of loss that the air isn't filled with the presence of laughter, good company, music, and stories. But it feels really hard, almost impossible, to restore that rich tapestry of joyous togetherness in a cement world where everybody is orbiting around different priorities and different schedules, and modern existence continues its stampede towards capitalism, busyness, convenience, and individualism. But if I can just manage to schedule some time with a friend, pack up some containers and ingredients, and get over to their house, the hard task of making enough healthy food transforms into enjoying the good times together, cultivating abundant nourishment. It would probably have been really helpful in this case to have made a plan a couple days before and maybe done some individual easy prep work, but we were both so busy that we simply crashed into it with whatever we spontaneously contributed as ingredients and ideas in the moment. So we wrote down our list of items that we collectively had and a list of ideas of what to make from those things. Then we just started snowballing food processing with the most random, hilarious, energetic, chaotic approach because we had no plan before meeting. And even though we could have been more streamlined and had a bit more forethought, we still were able to get a lot done. And the whole time, it was funny. There was a lot of laughing at how many different tasks were happening, and laughing at how the space was an explosion zone due to so much produce, and laughing at our sheer lack of preparation before bulk cooking, and laughing at how many recipes we put on our list to do. Laughing is so important in life, and it was really refreshing to have the experience of making food be so lighthearted and productive. We each just sort of randomly chose what things to do next based on whatever we could best assess needed attention next. We worked near each other on different things and collectively produced a lot of different stuff. A delicious apple squash soup, some cooked greens, blanched green beans, mushroom kale egg bites, salad, celery snacking sticks, baked pears with cardamom and butter. It took us about 5 hours in total from start to finish, including eating dinner and cleaning up. Cleanup is so much easier together too. At home I have to hype myself up just to manage the cleanup, especially if the cooking was also a marathon. But with a friend, you're just taking care of the next thing that needs attention, but the task itself feels so much lighter together. And don't get me wrong, it's kind of a good amount of work to haul ingredients and storage containers over somewhere else and then haul the end results back home. But the shared commitment that we're gonna hang out and we're gonna cook carries me there, even though it takes a push to make it happen. And the experience itself is so much more rewarding and so much less tiring than managing a lot of food prep alone that I feel like it's totally worth the effort. Some things we're still figuring out is how to split the bill for the groceries when we're each contributing things from our fridge that need to be used rather than going on some dedicated one-time shopping trip that would have a clear singular cost. And also, sometimes one person brings more ingredients and the other person brings less, or vice versa. Also figuring out portions and who takes home what, and how many people are in each respective household, and how much each person generally consumes and needs. We did have to talk about it a little bit because I eat more and my friend generally eats less, and our households are different sizes. Another thing to figure out is how things are stored. One week we split everything into pre-made, repetitious meal packs, but we found we needed to also store some things not pre-portioned so that there's more ways to remix the prepared foods throughout the week. Now, so far this week, I've been able to use the food we made in a bunch of ways already. Because everything is basically ready to go, it's easy to throw together a meal within a half hour on a weekday. I made a tuna green bean salad to put over rice and eat with a side of the squash apple soup. I fried up the cooked potatoes to have with some cheesy eggs for breakfast. I made a little soy balsamic vinegar sauce for the blanched greens and had it as a side. And the egg bites are an instant hit at home for a quick, delicious breakfast on the go. The overall effect of this experience is overwhelmingly positive. It provides me a lot of relief. My fridge is stocked with really nice, healthy, prepared foods that are also infused with laughter and friendship. The variety of the food is more interesting than what I would make alone because it's both of our ideas and styles together, so it's refreshing. I also got to make some things like the egg bites that I never made before but have been wanting to. I just never really felt like I had time lately to try anything new. But being together made it feel more easy to make it happen. So every day since then, I still need to supplement what we made and cook and add different things to bring meals to life, but a really good foundation is already there, so I'm not so exhausted and I can approach making a meal with more confidence and less fatigue. The cleanup is easier meal to meal as well because I'm not making every single component of the meal in that session, so less is dirtied up every time. Cooking and food for me resonate in an ancient way, interwoven with connection and a desire for a happy sense of family and belonging. Without those things in the texture of the food experience, I feel some loss and sadness. On my own, to the best of my capacity that day, I still practice meditating with the process and connecting with the ingredients themselves, and having gratitude for having food at all, and appreciation for all the elements and work and people and animals that made that food possible. But it still often feels lonely and fractured and disconnected and tiring, and I don't cook or eat as well as I would in company. I often long for the food process to go along with good company and good conversation and catching up and laughter and music and fresh air and good times and different generations and a warm-hearted atmosphere and shared memories. Sometimes it feels hard to get together across family lines in this modern world where everyone is living such different lives going in different directions at 1,000,000 miles per hour, and the stressors and strains of society keep so many people barely able to duck their head up. But I personally desire to keep bringing more to life in different ways the feeling in my heart of that old way of simple togetherness around daily nourishment and good health. It's never a regret to have made healthy food and have spent wonderful time with loved ones. The time we have is so precious. It shouldn't be filled with distractions and stress, even though that's what we're faced with every day, and it can be so hard to feel triumphant. But with all of the pressures and instability in the world, I want to control what I can to make life better and hold on to my center. Making an effort to schedule time to cook lots of food together on a regular basis is part of returning to what matters, returning to myself, and returning to life. Making cooking easier is actually, for me, a matter of regrounding the food experience into shared time, appreciation, togetherness, and joy. We can find our way back to each other amidst the hustle and bustle of this desolate plain marketed to us as life. Remember, you will never regret spending quality time with the people in your life who you love the most and celebrating abundance with a happy heart.